There's just something about going to the airport and flying somewhere that causes this stress in all of us, which results in like this incredible supply of crazy airport videos. Now, today's is a lot more infuriating. Let me warn you now. Homeboy shows up to the airport and there's a $25 fee for checking into his flight late at the airport, and his flight is in like 30 minutes. I think it's totally reasonable to be like, to try and get out of paying that because it sucks. And like, why would you just like voluntarily do it unless I guess you got money, you know, you got a lot of money, you don't care, hey, whatever, 25 bucks. I'd fight for my 25 bucks. So anyways, this guy's trying to fight for his 25 bucks and things are getting a little bit heated between him and the Frontier Airlines clerks. Eventually he concedes because they are not going to let him get on the plane without paying the 25 bucks. So he concedes he's going to pay the 25 bucks, but also throws in, I'm never flying this shitty airline again, which completely sets off the Frontier Airlines clerk. And now she refuses to take his 25 bucks and is gloating about him not being able to get on his flight.
They made their flight. You did. And you think, oh, you're going to check me in. I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you didn't pay $25 for an agent assistant and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I
was going to get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight. And they're not.
So two phones, they're recording. These are employees of Frontier recording this guy and gloating that you thought you're gonna get on your flight, and the repetition is so aggravating. I can't be the only one that's feeling incredibly aggravated right now, and they are doing it on purpose to aggravate somebody because it makes them feel good, makes them powerful. They're not here to work for Frontier and earn a paycheck at this very moment. What they're doing right now is enjoying a moment of power and control, a very brief one at that. And there is an ending to the story, so stick around till the end.
Letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly.
You were about to let me check in.
Yeah, you do control that.
You were about to let me check in. And you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space.
You're
This
in
is
my face.
not your
I work
personal
here.
space.
This is my stationary.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space. You work for a company. This
you
is
get left
not
for
your
work.
personal space.
We ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing
You
your
ain't gotta get on
job
my flight.
for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in. For no reason whatsoever.
What's from her perspective that's gonna make her look good? She's so stupid.
I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Woo, man, it's so frustrating. She is like just enjoying the fact that she is preventing somebody from getting home. That's sadistic. I mean, there's obvious sadisticness. And I bet she doesn't just act this way when she at work. I bet she always acted that way. So what happened? Well, Frontier Airlines agents jeer at passenger after hitting him with a surprise fee. You thought you were going to get on your flight? So annoying. The passenger, who did not want to be identified, told the Post he'd arrived at the airport with roughly 50 minutes to spare, but he wasn't able to check in on the electronic kiosk because, unbeknownst to him, he had missed the airline's 60-minute pre-departure window. So I'm not sure what the reason for this is with airlines, but you have to check in before a certain time. Otherwise, they could still check you in for some reason, but they're going to charge you $25. I don't know why they do that. But whatever, you know, I guess maybe to scam us out of more money. When he went to speak to a Frontier employee, he was told he needed to cough up a $25 fee to check in at the desk per the airline's policy. That's when he claims things turned sour. They all kind of started chiming in. Well, you should have checked the website. Like, not in a professional or polite way. They were like, it is your fault for not checking the website. Sorry, it's on you. He said of the moments before he decided to start filming. So I feel like the power trip is already starting here, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of employees at airports, not all of them, but I just sense this power trippiness, you know, over others. It's like their life sucks. And one way to make it better is to make other people's lives suck too. That's just the vibe I get. Hey, tell me if you get that same vibe. Not with all airport employees, just Some of them, like these ones at this desk. After a 20-minute back and forth, damn, 20 minutes, the passenger said he finally relented and agreed to pay the fee. As he reached for his wallet, he copped to muttering, "I'm never flying this shitty airline again." Yeah, see right here? Now she wants to, bro, she's about to make your life miserable. Shouldn't have said that, dude. Shouldn't have said it, dude. Shouldn't have said it. You asked for it. You saw her attitude. You just argued with her for 20 minutes. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but you should have expected someone to behave this way. Sometimes in this world, you could tell that somebody is not going to play fairly and by the rules, and you need them. You need something from them. And in order to get the thing that you want from them, you have to allow them to have their petty little fucking power trip. When I said that, the lady who I was talking to took a step back and gasped and was like, "How dare you curse at me? I'm not checking you in. I don't have to check you in." And my reaction was, "You will check me in." And when I said that, she completely just went, I don't know if ballistic is the word, but essentially she shut off completely and absolutely refused to check me in, which we saw in the video. And yeah, she's like, "You ain't gonna have an attitude with me. If you're gonna have an attitude with me, I'm gonna ruin your whole day." That's the way she sees the world. Main character syndrome to the max, seriously. The footage shows the moment two of the agent's co-workers, who were dressed in long-sleeve black Frontier tops, chimed in and started pointing their own phones at him, repeatedly laughing. You thought you were gonna get on your flight? Such an aggravating moment, dude. I had to put my head down. I couldn't even watch it. The clip, which has already racked up millions of views on social media, hey, let me get some, I'm telling the story too, sparked fierce debate online as many ripped the gate agents for their lack of professionalism. So incredibly unprofessional, dude. I hate when I have to deal with someone who acts like this. I just don't like it. It's so annoying. But like I said, sometimes you just gotta suck it the fuck up because they won't let you get on a plane. Like the last place I'm gonna argue with a lady like this, I'd be so compliant with her, even though I don't want to be, because I'm trying to fly, bro. Others, however, laid into the passenger for not adhering to the airline's policy. Yeah, fuck her, dude. What was remarkable to me also is that not one person on their side took the professional route or the high road, the passenger said, of the viral exchange. Yeah, they all stick together, dude, of course. I mean, they stick together. I'm not gonna fault them too hard for that, because that's what people do. They stick together, strength in numbers, you know. They're the ones hanging out with each other all day. They're never going to see this guy again. Listen, it's my money at the end of the day, and when somebody is caught off guard with a charge that they feel in some ways unfair or unreasonable, of course they have the right to express themselves. That I completely agree with. Fight to save your 25 bucks. There's nothing wrong with that. You think it's unfair? You don't have to just bend over and take it, dude. Now, I feel like this guy should have taken a fucking hint and realized that these people they hate him. They probably really don't like dealing with customers. And I can understand how this builds up over time, to be real. Imagine working at the airport and then there's these stressed out people that you're dealing with by the hundreds every single day. Like, that's got to weigh on you as someone who works at the airport. So I could see why they have, like, you know, a chip on their shoulder. I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying I could see how it arrived there. It's not okay to be disrespectful of somebody for no reason, but I was not being disrespectful to them personally, in my opinion. I thought they were being disrespectful to me out of the gate because I was complaining about a fee that I was completely caught off guard by. The man eventually threatened to get the cops involved, and the employees quickly summoned officers over to the desk. Yeah, because the cops are going to be like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the hell out of this airport." I had a very, very professional conversation with two officers who were there and were completely empathetic. They 100% seemed to agree with where I was coming from, but they can't help. The passenger ended up buying a $500 JetBlue ticket to get home to his wife and kids. Frontier later reimbursed him after he called to complain about the dust up. So what happened? There's a simple statement that Frontier gave to the Post. "We are aware of what occurred and have been directly in touch with the customer," a Frontier spokesperson told the Post. "The individuals in question, who work for a third-party contractor, are no longer associated with the Frontier account." So they don't even work for Frontier directly. They were working for Frontier, but through a third party. So Frontier told the third party, "Get those fucking people out of our shit. We don't want them in ours." So guess what that third party does? They probably just moved them somewhere else. They get fired. They're just going to continue to behave this way. And they'll just, honestly, people like this, I feel like just from the attitude, I could tell, and the chip on their shoulder, you know, they hate the customers. They don't like them. They're very angry people and feel good when they ruin someone's day and hurt someone else, right? I feel like even if they did have to pay for their actions, they still wouldn't learn. That's what I think. Anyways, that's the story. Thank you guys for making it to the very end. I love you guys the most. I gotta go. See ya.